Hello, I'm Becky Mosley, and I work as an attorney at Legal Aid of Northwest Texas in the Community Lawyering Center. I'm here remotely with Dominic, an attorney in our Denton office. Dominic handles many of our consumer law cases, including defending against debt lawsuits and filing lawsuits against businesses for dishonest and unfair business practices. I've asked Dominic to speak with me today to answer some questions about consumer fraud during the COVID-19 crisis here in Texas. Good morning, Dominic. Why should people in Texas be concerned about fraud right now?
Good morning, Becky. Well, fraud happens all year round, and consumers should always be on the lookout for fraud and protect themselves from falling for scams. That being said, the coronavirus pandemic has created some unique issues around the world that have opened the door to potential scammers to use that to their advantage.
What types of scams have you started seeing surrounding the coronavirus pandemic?
Well, there's a lot of different scams that have started to pop up during the pandemic. We've mainly seen those scams concentrate in three areas: stimulus checks, supply shortages, and coronavirus testing and treatment.
What should people be looking out for when they're looking for information about the stimulus checks?
Well, the stimulus checks have created a very appealing situation for scammers. Most of America will get money from the government at some point, but it's unclear when we'll receive the money, how we'll receive the money, and how much money we'll receive. So scammers have tried to provide misinformation on those subjects to try and steal your money. Some of the more common stimulus check scams we've seen are emails and phone calls trying to convince people that they need to go to a website and provide information to sign up to receive the stimulus check. That's a lie. Scammers are trying to get you to provide information so that they can steal your identity in those scams. We've also seen examples of websites that try and convince people that they can get their stimulus check faster if they provide personal information or even pay a small service fee to receive the expedited stimulus. That's also a lie.
So what do people need to do in order to receive their stimulus check?
Usually nothing. If you filed your 2019 tax return this year, the government's going to use the information on that tax return to determine how many people are in your household and what your income is. And then they'll deliver the money either by direct deposit to the bank account where you received your 2019 tax return or by a paper check. If you have not filed your 2019 tax return yet, it's a good idea to file your 2019 taxes now to make sure the IRS is using the most up-to-date information for your stimulus payment. If you didn't file your 2019 taxes yet, the IRS will use your 2018 taxes for all of that information. If you didn't provide direct deposit information in your 2018 tax return, or if the information for your direct deposit or your household is out of date, you might want to file a 2019 tax return with your bank's information to receive your check by direct deposit. If you've not filed the 2018 or 2019 tax return, you might still receive a stimulus check if you're a Social Security recipient who's not making enough money to be required to file taxes. If you don't receive Social Security and you haven't filed your taxes in 2018 or 2019, then to get a stimulus check this year, you'll have to file your 2019 tax. If you don't, you won't get a stimulus check this year, but we expect that when you file your 2020 taxes next year, you'll have the opportunity to correct any underpayment or to claim a stimulus check you were eligible for but didn't get because of not filing taxes in time for the 2019 stimulus checks. Right now, the stimulus checks are supposed to be as high as $1,200 for a single person or $2,400 for a married couple, plus $500 per dependent child. The IRS has not told us exactly when the stimulus checks will be sent, but they expect to start sending them out later in April. But remember, paper checks could take much longer if you didn't share your banking information with the IRS or if you don't have a bank account. And this is important. At this time, the government is not asking anyone to provide any sort of personal information by phone, by email, by mail, or on any website in order to get the stimulus check. Unless you get Social Security, you have to file a tax return to get your stimulus check. Some tax preparers have launched stimulus registration pages saying they'll assist you with filing a minimal tax return to be eligible for a stimulus check, but you should only provide your personal information to a tax preparer that you trust. If the government does set up an official registration page for the stimulus or a page to submit updated direct deposit information, you'll see that information on the IRS website at www.irs.gov/coronavirus. The only way to receive a stimulus check faster is to make sure your 2019 tax return is filed and that it has your bank's information in the tax return so that your money can go to your account by direct deposit.
Okay. As far as supply shortages, what should people be looking out for when they're buying supplies online that are not available in local stores, like toilet paper or hand sanitizer?
Well, first of all, many sellers have been selling these types of items online for a lot more money than what you would pay for in a store. This is a crime called price gouging. In Texas, the seller cannot charge a large markup on an item just because it's hard to find during a disaster. Honest sellers of these products will be charging a price similar to what they cost before the coronavirus pandemic. Not only does buying a product at a large markup encourage those sellers to continue stockpiling and reselling those items, but it means that you have no idea if the item was stored properly, whether the item was tampered with, or even if you'll receive the item after paying for it online. There's also many listings online for those products that are counterfeit, such as illegally imported face masks that didn't get the government certification for their safety. Finally, we've seen many fake online listings for these types of items where the seller never planned to send the items and is only trying to get your payment information so that they can steal your money or even your identity. You should only buy supplies online from a retailer you are familiar with and trust.
So what should people be on the lookout for when they're reading about testing and treatment for the coronavirus?
Well, there's a lot of misinformation going around about the virus, and some of that misinformation is coming from scammers. Any website that promises to provide you with free home test kits, vaccinations, or medications to treat coronavirus is probably a scam. Right now, there's no vaccinations approved for coronavirus, and there are no medications approved to treat or prevent coronavirus. When vaccinations or medications do become available, you'll likely have to visit your doctor to receive them. If you're experiencing symptoms of coronavirus, or if you are exposed to someone who has it, you should speak to a physician and request to be tested.
Thank you so much for joining me, Dominic. If you have more questions or if you need legal assistance, you can apply for help at your local legal aid office. Legal Aid of Northwest Texas provides free legal help in areas like housing, consumer law, public benefits, and family law to low-income individuals and families in North and West Texas. If you live in North or West Texas, you can apply for help with Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, and eligible applicants can speak to an attorney. You can apply by calling 888-529-5277, or for consumer problems and most other types of civil legal issues, you can also apply for help with us online at www.lanwt.org.